shit. Alright. War of Underworld, Part 2, episode, I believe, 14? I believe it's 14. Or just episode 2 of Part 2. I cried multiple times. I got goosebumps multiple times in this episode. And I don't know what's up with me, but I keep crying every time I hear that opening song. Anima, right? Riona, like, that woman's voice. My God, like it for me. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know who Ellie Goulding is. She is one of my favorite singers like ever. This chick has the exact raspiness of Ellie Goulding. She's like the Japanese Ellie Goulding, and I'm like, I keep tearing up with this song and the sequence of it. Everybody fighting. You're seeing Yujiro. You're seeing all of these characters like the Integrity Knights, which I think I said in a comment in my last video. I put in a comment that like I loved seeing all of like the Integrity Knights and a lot of the characters that we came to know and love in Alicization, like in the real world, like in the actual real world and everything. Like it looked so cool. Obviously you don't see their faces, they're just like having like, you know, just like the cool aesthetic look or whatever. And just to see that was just so beautiful. And to see, again, seeing Kirito by himself keeps making me get watery-eyed. And that was the first thing that I started crying with. The second thing is when everybody, this was like the Smash Brothers version of SAO. Like everyone is here. Like you got Agil coming in hot to, you know, save Asuna from some guy that was about to hit her. You got Agil coming in. You got Silica coming in. You got Lisbeth coming in. You got all of the leaders of each. I believe they were the fairy races. Like each leader of the fairy races. If you guys know all of their names, I would like to know in the comments. I mean, you can just comment that if you want. But just seeing them all come in, like the cat Sylph, whatever, like her coming in hot with her clan and like all the other like elf like fairies. Like that was when I saw Lisbeth and Silica coming in to help Asuna, and them saying that Yui was the one that got their avatars to go into the underworld and whatnot. And I'm like, Yui is coming in clutch all the time, my guy. Like, she is just so great. And then when I see Asuna crying, I started crying. And she was just hugging it out with Lisbeth and Silica. I started crying. And then the whole conversation, or like the whole like greeting with Renly, with Renly and Lisbeth and Silica I thought was so cute and funny, because you know you got Renly, who is a very timid guy, even though he had some serious character development in the first part, War of Underworld Part 1. Like, you got some real good development with him and his character in general, and like just to see, but like him still being timid or whatever. And Lisbeth is just so like a quirky, outgoing type of person. Like, hey, nice to meet you. I thought that was so funny. Like I giggled. That was so great. And then like you got Asuna with her just tactician like brain. Like, she doesn't want to like have like a straight up what is it called, confrontation or whatever she was saying. And so she's like, have everybody like bulk together while there's 200 of you guys with Lisbeth and Silica, and teach and help, or Renly to go with 200 of their people with Lisbeth and Silica to go and to go and help them with like the healing arts and everything, because obviously they don't know about the underworld's like healing arts. So like helping them like learn like the basic healing arts or whatever. So that's what Renly is doing with all those people. And something that I also started crying about and tearing about after this happened. First of all, Goosebumps, the Swordland OST came on while Asuna was running in with going to where like Agil and Klein are and everything. That gave me chills and goosebumps. But the moment that I saw some of Yuki's friends from the second season in the final arc with Yuki, bro, like I started crying. Like I don't know, like, because they've been through so much shit in real life that they have to actually somewhat live in the virtual world, the virtual reality, the VR world, and just to see them again started, oh god. Okay, I breathe. Just to see them again started making me cry. Like I started seriously like tearing up, like waterworks were about to flood out, and that was just a beautiful scene, like, because it's like Asuna helped them with a lot of things in the VR world, in ALO and helped them with, like, helped cope with what was going on with Yuki and a bunch of their friends passing away and shit, and just to see them being like, we're gonna help you this time, that was beautiful. I loved it. But anyways, let's move on to what was happening in the actual real world, which was like 7 a.m. or something like that. That Higa was trying to figure out, like, a lot of these things are impossible to, like, how are we going to connect Kirito's, like, memories and his mind in general back, like he's still unconscious and everything. And what's the doctor's name? The one who was going out with... what is his name? Who's going out with Kaiba? The guy who first made SAO over. But she's like, are objects and subjects really have to be separated? She's talking to Higa, being like, there exists a part of you in me, just like how a lot of people, there is a part of Kirito in their souls and such. So then Higa had this idea to connect memories and whatnot, like from other people's Fluctlights who have strong memories or connections with him, to bring Kirito back. And I'm like, that's a pretty sick way of like bringing him back. And it seems like really cool and really like logical, and it makes a lot of sense and stuff. It's not just like an ass pull or anything like that. It's like connecting all of these things to create like pretty much a network of connections, just like what the doctor said. She's like saying that like all of these connections that people have with, say, Kirito and stuff like that, through all of their hearts and their souls, is a network in and of itself. So if that happens, then he can actually come back if they're able to somewhat connect those things within Kirito. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's get this shit done. But then he has to go to the maintenance controls or whatever, which is in the main room on the sea turtle, the floating turtle or whatever. So he has to go there, but he's going alone because of how small he is, going into ducks and everything. And like, first of all, the guy who also suggested that he goes with Higa, saying that like, I may be scrawny, but I can probably take a bullet for you. For some reason, when I look at him, I do not trust him. Like, I look at him and I'm like, you're gonna do something, aren't you? That's what I'm thinking that he's gonna do. But like having those conversations and talking about how like Alice, she's not just an AI anymore, like at all or anything like that. She's way more complicated and I personally say like very like human-like in general, like closest to like an actual person in real life, that it's like it's a literal actual virtual world where she where all of them are. Like, it's a literal world. It's not just something you can shut off, and or you probably could, but that'd be fucked up. But like, that whole conversation, it was a lot. Like, SAO does a lot of like heavy information type of talks that like a lot of info dropping and whatnot, which is like very long to talk about in like a review and whatnot. But pretty much Higa is going to go in the ducks to get to where Kirito is to try to work on him, but and also using like the maintenance controls and such to help Kirito fix up his memories and his mind in general and his soul in general through all the connections that he has connected with people like Sinon, Sugu, and Asuna. Obviously, Asuna is his girlfriend. You got Sugu, who's his little sister, and then Sinon, who's, I would consider her to be, like, in terms of the women, like, his best friend. Like, Kirito's best friend. That's what I see Sinon as. So, yeah, all of those heavy connections with all three of them it could very well possibly bring him back. And also, whenever like they showed like pulses of like his mind, like whenever like I believe Sugu and Sinon went into the underworld, there was like a conscious like thought or pulse like in his mind that Higa saw, and he's like, wait, that's impossible or something like that. And then the doctor's like, is it really impossible for that? So that whole thing was like pretty awesome and whatnot, and I like the conversation. It wasn't really super complicated obviously at all, so it was pretty easy to talk about with that stuff. So that happened, and then that Bercoli fight, bro, when you see them first clash, that CGI mixed with that animation was that top tier studio type of stuff. Obviously A1 Pictures and Aniplex, whatever, they're all fantastic with their stuff. That felt like Ufotable, who does like all that perfect synergy between like CGI and animation, like both of them together, like say Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Zero and whatnot. You also got Demon Slayer, which they did a perfect job with that and everything. This was at that level of like of that top tier like synergy between, like, obviously there wasn't like too much like CGI or whatever, but I'm talking about that one clash. And then and Bercoli's looking at Vecta looking back at him, and like you saw like the smoke and like the sparks and everything, and oh my gosh, that fight, like him using the Uragiri to search for where he was when he cut Bercoli's arm off to slash him. That is such a hexed ability that Bercoli had. Oh my gosh. And also, oh my gosh, when he got stabbed by Vecta, and Vecta's saying that, like, you're planning something or whatever, and Bercoli looked like he was down and out or whatever, and then his dragon comes in to, like, get Vecta off of him, so then, like, Bercoli can do his attack or whatever. He had to wait, like, 30 seconds or something, but oh my gosh, and the artwork, oh my gosh, the thick line artwork, that whole thing was beautiful. Animation obviously was beautiful. If this fight does not get at least a nomination in the Anime Awards or whatever, I'm gonna be severely bummed out. Like, oh my gosh, the fight was so good. And then at the end, oh my god. Okay, I hope I don't cry. But the end, when he was able to slice Vecta in the past to kill him and to take him out, that was so freaking cool. Like, for real. And then, like, him not even, like, falling over dying, but he's like, sitting there, like, on his knees, just sitting there. Oh, my gosh. And then Alice wakes up. Oh, my gosh. Like, his father, or her father, like, oh, my gosh. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. I started crying with that scene. Bercoli's sitting there. Alice looking like, what's going on? What's happening? Like what? Like what? Uncle like freaking out, like doesn't know what else to say. She doesn't know what else to say except Uncle like freaking out or whatever. Oh my gosh! And then you see Bercoli's spirit starting to leave with Quinella's like his memory of Quinella and whatnot, and his dragon, like his dragon passed away too, or obviously his dragon died, and the whole sequence was so beautiful. I got so teary-eyed, and like when you see Alice in like the beautiful green field laying down next to Bercoli, and she's saying it's so warm and everything, and then she got up, and then he's in that position, but he's dead. That was just, oh, it was so heartbreaking, but that was an amazing fight. I thought it was so beautifully done and everything, and then you know, when he was slashing Vecta in the past or whatever, he knew he was dying, and the only thing that he saw was Fanatio. Right before he dies, he sees the love of his life. And then when he whispers, when he leaves, she actually hears it. Take care of our child. And I'm like, thank goodness. Because if something wasn't there, I would have just been heartbroken. But he at least left a legacy. And now he's going to be known as the one who killed the dark god Vecta, or whatever. And he is just a freaking legend of Alicization and SAO. And man, when Lady Fanatio was like, I'll raise him to be just a proud human like you were. And at first I thought that like him saying child, for some reason in my head I thought of Alice, but then like Fanatio was like holding her belly and everything. I'm like, oh, they had a kid. They're gonna have a kid. Like, she's pregnant. Like, this is like, I feel like that was a beautiful ending to like his character and Fanatio and everything. It's sad, but at the same time it's beautiful because he at the very least left something behind to continue, you know? And Fanatio isn't alone or anything. Like, obviously she's not going to be alone with all the other antagonists and stuff, but like she's going to be able to go home to someone or something, like her child, her little boy or girl or whatever. And man, oh, it's beautiful. That was a beautiful ending to Bercoli. Tragic and sad, but at the same time very beautiful. And he doesn't necessarily resent Quinella, which, like, it's kind of understandable to me, just a little bit, because at the same time, she took his memories consistently over hundreds of years. But then, if it weren't for what she did, he would have never had the daughter in Alice, you know? And that was just the way when he swung down his sword and your life flashes before you when you know you're gonna die, but all he saw was Lady Fanatio. Bro, man, that was something. I'm ready to see a lot of the other characters that ended up going into the underworld. All the people from like ALO and whatnot, and ready to see a lot of ready to see Kirito. Probably going to see a bunch of like past things with Yujio and his spirit and whatnot. It's gonna be sad, and I'm ready to see what is his name? Vasago, or whatever. The guy who was, spoiler alert, the head of Laughing Coffin, who was the Dark Knight leader that Asuna took out, and he went back into the underworld with his Laughing Coffin type of avatar. I'm ready to see him. For some reason, I'm wanting to see a team up with Asuna and Klein fighting him. For some reason, I really want that. That would be really cool. I'm not sure if that would happen, but man, this is a beautiful episode. Like, it topped last episode. I would say it definitely topped it. And even though last episode I thought was just fantastic, but this one was, that fight and that art of Bercoli and Vecta fighting each other was just that was next level. Like, that was good stuff. And now his name's Mr. Miller. He's gonna go back in with, I'm pretty sure it's his GGO character, because you see him with his GGO character in the promotional video, which was it seems like Sinon is gonna use her sniper rifle to combat like his like gunslinger or whatever. If we have a shootout with both of them, that would be so good, so great. And I'm just ready to see more. I hope I don't cry as much as I did. I probably am. I'm probably gonna cry again when I listen to the opening theme again next episode. All right, yeah. I think I'm good right now. I'm gonna end this review. What did you guys think about the episode? Leave down in the comments your thoughts. Comments about what I said and everything. Comments about the episode, obviously. Like the video if you did. Like the video if you liked Sōdo Online SAO. If you liked the episode, leave a like. If you liked anything I had to say, leave a like. If you agree with anything, obviously leave a like and everything. If you like me, leave a like. And subscribe to the channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, and theater discussion videos and things like that. So gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sassy, but most important, everybody, gotta stay a little nasty, alright? So peace and love, and I will see y'all later in the next video. Peace out. May the force be with you always. Plus, Ultra, and Latom. And man, when that OST of Swordland came on with Agil and Asuna running, was amazing.